Hello friends, how are you all? So today we are going to see about the methods in Java, how we can make use of methods, how we can call a method, how we can define a method, all those things we will see. So if you still have not subscribed the channel, then do subscribe it and press the notification bell icon to get the latest video. And please share the videos with your friends so they can also learn. So without wasting time, let's just go inside and we will see. So these are the topics which we are going to cover today. First, we will see the definition of method, what is method, then some important points, then flow of function, then passing or returning arguments from the method or to the method. Okay, then we will see some examples, then we will see Java program, and in the last, like we always do, we will take the questions. So let's just move to our first topic, that is definition of method. So methods are the set of instructions to be written by the programmer to perform a particular or specific task. Now what is it means? Suppose we are writing a program. In that program, just for basic program, we are doing the sum of two values. Suppose there are two values. One is int x, second is int y. Now we need to find of these two values. So there are always two ways we can perform this sum operation in that main program itself, or we can call a method and we can perform this sum operation inside that particular method. So this is the definition of that method. So methods are set of instructions to be written by programmer to perform some specific task. Like just now I said, we are doing sum of two variables. We can perform some other operation also. If we will go into deep, so we can perform our DB related things and all those things we can write inside a method. We can call that method. So what will happen? Suppose we need that particular lines of code, that particular code which are performing a particular thing at a particular time. We need that. So if we are not going to write inside the method, then what we need to do? We need to repeat those lines. Okay, if we are writing inside a method, then we don't need to repeat those lines, we just need to call that method. That's it. So instead of writing some lines of code again and again, we can write them inside a method and we can call that method simply. So this is the main use of method. So you can see in the next paragraph also, method help us in code reusability and it increase the modularity of the program. We will see with the Java program, don't worry about that. We'll see here couple of programs, so we'll get more clarity about it. So let's talk about the syntax. So syntax of the method is access modifier, then return type of the method, then method name, which is highly important, then if we are passing any arguments, then curly braces open close, and within those curly braces we need to write our code, we need to write our logic which we are going to perform in that particular method. Okay, for what purpose we have written a method, that will come inside the curly braces. Okay, so just see here where I'm moving the cursor right now. Your access modifier can be public, private, protected, default. Now again, what is this public, private, protected, default? Don't worry about this for time being, don't worry right now, we'll see it when we will come to this particular topic for access modifier. We will see it, what is it. So don't worry right now, just concentrate on writing methods, that's it. So modifier can be static, abstract, final, synchronized. Now again, what is it? Again the same thing, don't worry about it for time being, we will see this one by one, don't worry, it will come in our tutorial. So return type can be any type or it can be void also. So return type can be any type. What does it means? It can be a primitive type or a non-primitive type. So for primitive and non-primitive, you need to go to our video tutorial for data types in Java and you need to see that what is primitive and non-primitive. So for your reference, I'll tell you. So return type can be integer, can be string, can be float, can be double, can be char, or can be a class name or an that reference we can say. Or if we are not returning anything, then it is simply void, like we used to have in C or C++. What is void means? If we are not going to return anything, then we make use of void. Okay, so this is the syntax of method. So now we will see important points to note. So access modifier in method definition is optional. We can have it public, protected, private, or default. We can have it, or if we don't want, we don't need it. So it is optional. You can have it or you don't have it. Don't worry. So execution of function always happens in stack memory. This is an important point which you need to note down. Just pause the video and note down it in your notes. So what is it means? Suppose there is a main method, there is a class, inside the class there is a main method. So from the main method we are calling a one more method, from there we are calling a one more method. Suppose from the main we are calling the method by the name m1, and from the m1 method we are calling the method m2. Now what will happen? It will all go to the stack memory. So first m2 will be stored, then m1 will be there, then our main method. Okay, so it will be in that fashion. So see here, for the flow function you will get a clarity. So from the JVM will call the main method. From the main method we are calling the m1, so it will go to m1 directly, m1 definition. So from there some lines of code are there, then we are calling the m2. Then from m2 it will go to the m2 definition directly as soon as we are calling m2. Okay, then after then within m2 we are not calling any other method, so it will finish its code, then it will return back to the m2 calling where it was calling. So now the remaining code will be get finished of m1. Then when we are closing the curly braces of m1, from there it will return the control to m1 calling in the main function. Okay, so this is the stack overflow function which I was talking about. Okay, so from this calling it will finish the rest of the code of the main method, then it will return to the JVM back. Okay, so you can see here in this box also I have written from the JVM to main method to m1, m1 to m2. Then after m1 will finish its logic part, it will return to the m1. Then from m1 to main, and then from main to back to JVM. So this is the complete flow of a function. Don't worry, we'll see it. I know it's a bit confusing right now. What is it? M1, M2, main method. We will see it. Don't worry. Okay, so move to the next. So here is the passing or returning arguments. So what is it? Arguments. The number of arguments or the number of items of different data types which we are passing inside a square bracket of a method. For this one I'll see you with one example, don't worry. So there are 4 types of passing or returning the argument. There can be no passing argument, no returning argument. It is a very important point. If you will go for any job interview also, then that time also they will ask you it. What is it? Passing argument, returning argument, how many types are there, and why we need to pass the argument. If we are accepting a method, how we will define that which data type it is, how we can accept the method with the same data type. These all things will come there. Okay, so first one is no passing argument, no returning argument. Second one is passing argument, then return argument. No passing argument, return argument. Passing argument but no returning argument. Okay, here the ARGS I am taking as 4 arguments. See here in the box also I have written for vocabulary. Okay, so move to the next slide. So see here, now you will get some clarity. No passing argument, no returning argument. What is it means? From the main method we are calling a method m1, and here we are not passing any argument. Okay, so we are not giving any argument and we are not returning also. So no return is here. So return type will be void for this particular method. Okay, move to the next one. Passing argument, return argument. See here, what is this passing argument? How we will define that which type it should return. So here we are calling a method and we are accepting its data inside the char data type. So whenever we are defining a method, we should type its return type as char. Okay, why? Because we are calling it with char data type here. See here, char ch. So its data type will be char. So while returning, it will return a char value only. Either we can have it inside a variable and we can return that variable. That is a different thing. But data type should be same. Okay. So here we are passing our integer data type of value 10. So we are accepting it as int 10. Okay, so passing the argument will be same, returning the arguments will be same. Okay, move to the next slide. So no passing argument but returning argument. Here we are not passing any argument. See here, no arguments we are passing, but we are returning it, means we are accepting it as a double type. So at the time of return means method returning, we are accepting as a double type. So our return will be 10.25. Okay. So next one will be passing argument but no returning argument. Passing argument, no returning argument means what? We are giving an integer value here, but we are not accepting any value. So it will not return any value. So what will it return then? Void. Okay, I hope you are getting some clarity. We will get more clarity about it in the upcoming Java program. So we will move to the Java program now and we will see what will happen after this. Okay.